Hey guys, I'm Sarah. Every week I comb through hundreds of DIY videos preparing projects for our weekly maker show, Make or Break. Along the way, I find some good ones and some great ones. And right now, I'm gonna share them with you. This is Sarah's top 5 DIY router tables. Jay Bates is number 5 with his benchtop router table. Okay, so even though he's made several router tables in the past, his shop is currently missing one, so he decided to make one, specifically using his DeWalt trim router. This is a pretty simple build constructed with plywood, but to make sure this little table is nice and sturdy, he used continuous box joints all around the frame of the table to prevent any rocking while he works on it. Once he had the placement of the router selected, it was time to add the rest of the supports. Then he drilled a hole for the bit, added a sled, and finished up the rest of the assembly. See? Simple, right? Mitch Dietrich is number 4. Mitch wastes no time jumping into this build by cutting the 2x4s down with the miter saw. He assembled the frame of this table pretty quickly with a little glue and brad nails. Next, it was time to move on to the tabletop. Once he had the plywood laminated, he cut it down to size with the table saw. The top was not 100% level, so he used some epoxy to help level off the surface, which also gives the final product a nice shiny finish. He used his router to help route out the space for the plate in the tabletop, and he also added tracks, a fence, dust collection, and a plastic guard because safety first. Awesome job, Mitch. This turned out great. SWAN is up next at number 3. This is a super easy and quick build that you could easily get done in an afternoon or over a weekend. IZZY got started by cutting out all of the pieces he would need from a sheet of plywood, and after he figured out where he wanted the router to be, he drew a circle around it and then started cutting out the pieces he would need to build the base around the router. He screwed the base together, then fastened the router to the underside of that base. He screwed it to the table but said if you didn't want to do that, you could easily use clamps. Then he made a simple pivoting fence, and this was ready for its first project. The king of random is coming in at number 2. In this video, Grant walks you through how to turn a normal workbench into a flush-mounted router table. He started by cutting a hole in the tabletop where the acrylic router plate will rest. Next, he uses concrete pavers to help guide his router around the measurements he drew on the tabletop to create an inlay for the plate. He drilled some holes into the acrylic so you can attach it to the router, and then set it into the table. After adding a little bit of construction paper as an added detail and painted the table, this project is complete. And finally, number 1 is Patrick Sullivan. Not only is this mini router table adaptable to any trim router you may have, but it also includes a dust collection port, holds and organizes all of your router bits, and is easy to move around your shop if you are short on space. This is simply a box made out of plywood and MDF boards. Patrick made one of these a few years ago and slowly has been adding modifications to it to make it more functional, and now he's making a brand new one and walking us through every single detail of the build. He has some pretty creative ideas that landed him at this number 1 spot, and he has all of the plans and templates available if you want to make one of your own. Alright guys, do me a favor and like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to Belts and Boxes, please go do that now and be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss any of the shows that come out during the week. You can catch me every Friday at 5 p.m. for the Power Tool Week in Review with Rob, and every Saturday at 6 p.m. for our next episode of Make or Break. We'll see you then.